What is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a mutant raids video guide for you all. In today's video, I finally had a chance to actually go through the mutant raids here utilizing my Extreme X-Men. I'm still building them up, but I just wanted to see, what the min-max level is to get through, and thankfully we were able to find a very low level even to get through, and they had no issues through the first two nodes. As you can see, it's going to take me a little bit of time to kind of fine tune and figure out the strategy for the final node here, especially the team levels, but I'll keep you guys up to date. In the meantime, if you guys are hoping to build this team up early and quickly, I can show you here my team levels as well as the gameplay footage, so that way you can see that it does work. Just because I've noticed the other videos from other content creators, they're built up really high in terms of the roster, and none of us can really get a good sense of what a good minimum level is to invest in this team. And keep in mind, if they work in Incursion 2, they're likely working Incursion 1 rates as well. That way save you a bit of resources on those Def Seed mutant team. Let's get right to it, guys. So this is my Extreme X-Men roster right here. Obviously, it goes without saying, if you guys are looking towards unlocking Apocalypse and fully upgrading him, you need to have Gambit at gear tier 17. So I, spared no effort here in terms of the resources, making sure he's maximized as much as you can. Gear tier 17, level 90, all of his T4s respectively. Then we got Sunspot here with the respective upgrades in his ultimate and passive. Now, mind you, he's actually recommended to be a striker, but I've slotted him as a skirmisher. That way it does increase his focus, especially given the low star levels on him. We got Forge here, ready to go. Similar to Sunspot in terms of the ultimate and the passive being fully upgraded. He's great as a striker, so that way he's going to be granting the deflex and, providing support for the team as well. And then lastly, guys, we have Nightcrawler being kind of the second core of the team next to Gambit. I really think he's an important piece to bring up, but obviously the gear and resources, I'm just taking my time with building them up. And the main damage dealer of the team is going to be Cyclops, with his devastating ultimate ability with all the maximum charges being utilized, as well as refreshing that, having that energy being brought back by Sunspot is kind of what we're going to be taking advantage of. So as you can see, being pretty conservative with the T4s, the exception with Nightcrawler and Gambit, who I do firmly believe are going to be the two linchpins of the team. So having both of them built up higher is going to create a very strong core team. But as you can see, only two of these characters are actually at gear tier 16 and above. The rest of them at gear tier 15. So yeah, we're in a great position to test this out. Let me show you now the gameplay footage here for nodes 1 and nodes 2. Absolutely crazy, guys. So less than 850k in total team power, and as we're going to continue increasing them, I was actually just astonished that this is a team that's still working and able to get through. You have to keep in mind, like, you need some pretty massive Def Seed teams to get through here, and you have a team that's half their size. I recommend utilizing Nightcrawler's special there to actually stun Quicksilver at the very beginning here, but what we want to be doing is saving and using charges in this initial node. And mind you, guys, I was still learning the waves, so don't mind me. This is by no means a perfect run, but I was just getting the hang of it, reading the abilities, just because this is new to me as well, and we're trying to learn which characters have the ability blocks and control. Now, having said that, controlling Quicksilver is a really important piece of this initial wave, and then slowing down, or at least ability blocking Captain Sam. That way he's not getting his abilities off, right? Although our team is doing just fine right now, the debuffs, the number of buffs that's actually on our supporting side, you keep in mind our team is still very squishy if they get hit by the wrong ability, so you do very want to be mindful of that. Try to save the ultimates as much as you can, but you can see Forge activating his ultimate. Keep in mind, this is the one that actually revives your team as well. Gives us a boatload of buffs. We want to activate those, and with each of Forge's turn, he's going to be getting his equipment items, which gives us additional bonuses, right? So once Quicksilver's kind of out of his stun, we do need to be mindful of him. Dormammu may get a chance there to use a stun. That's okay, but you can see, because we're working with lower team levels here, we are going to be obviously having a little bit of issues in terms of just cleaning this up. Timing as well, because I was reading the abilities, but we activate the ultimate here of Nightcrawler, activating, flipping all the positives, and then now we are going to be focusing on Quicksilver in that middle portion there. Using Sunspot and activating his ultimate is huge because it grants energy for the rest of the team. I was constantly checking for Cyclops charge as well, but I figured why not just test it out. It looks pretty awesome to utilize, and just to get that satisfaction of blowing these enemies out of our way is awesome. But you can see, right, this is where having the lower levels on our team do hurt us a bit, because we don't have as much scale damage. Thankfully, Gambit is the lone character that's gear tier 17 with low 90, so he is providing a lot of support of pings attacks, and that's why it's really important to have that synergy with Nightcrawler. We get another chance here with Nightcrawler to actually ability block Quicksilver. So we're looking pretty good here. You know, thankfully no abilities have been used on us, and we have so much dodges. It's the number of buffs and debuffs placed on the enemies that really does shine for the Extreme X-Men team. That's how they thrive, right? Getting the energy back as well, rinsing and repeating and utilizing their abilities. As you can see, Gambit basically having an infinite special here where he can consistently ability block. Pretty big for us in terms of just making sure our abilities land, but we're doing really good. 5 out of 11 enemies left with 2 minutes remaining. And like I said, if I know how to play this better, I was experimenting, but I just wanted to share this footage with you guys because it was one of the few instances I was recording in, and we're utilizing such a low-level team, and shocking that this team can actually get the job done. So once I play it better, obviously it's gonna be more efficient. But yeah, not by no means a perfect run, guys. I just really wanted to showcase for you all that this team level can actually get the job done. And obviously if you want to be able to solo the boss node, that's where a little bit more work is going to be needed. But you can slowly work on these teams, build them up, and they're very valuable even at low levels, which is pretty crazy. Same with Pegasus and same with Bifrost. So glad to see that we're seeing the similar value coming from, you know, arguably one of the harder sections in the Incursion Rayge, which is the Mutant section. So down to these last 4, I realized that like I definitely did not play this correctly, just because of the way that some of these tanker characters are left. But as well, you have to remember too, we want to be saving charges near the end of node 1, so that way we have this for the next node, especially with Gambit and synergizing with Cyclops, the damage burst. So we weren't great there. We have a minute with 4 enemies left. Probably because of the fact that I was reading the abilities and taking my time with it. But yeah, super fun team to play, guys. You'll see that we essentially wrap things up here by finishing off the weaker enemies with Deadpool and Firestar. But I wish I didn't spend as much time because we aren't going to be finishing on time. But at least you can kind of see the strategy of the attack order of enemies that I focused on. And then again, I wouldn't recommend leaving Captain Sam for the very end, just because he can provide a lot of buffs to the team. But again, now we're in full control. The enemy waves are basically wiped out, but we just didn't get a chance to actually finish this on time. But you can see this is definitely a team that can get it done without issues. More so just the timing because of their levels and knowing their abilities full on well in the attack order is definitely going to save off some time here for sure. So Captain Sam is the last one, but yeah, like I said, we ran out of time, so not a big issue. But we essentially wrapped up this first node. I need to play it better and learn, but I'll be making an update video on this anyways, guys. So yeah, as you can see, easily getting the job done here for this first node. Okay, so with the second node, there is going to be a little bit more of a extreme focus here in terms of the damage dealers, right? So we know Kang can actually one-shot or two-shot a couple of our allies, so you do want to be focusing on him. Hence why I tried Nightcrawler with the special to try and stun him, but if he has high resistance, he may not be able to get through. I tried again with Sunspot, was able to land the ability block, and that was very, very fortuitous for us. Now, activating Cyclops' ultimate to deal as much damage as possible. We really want to slow these characters down. I also tried the ability block Spider Weaver there, which worked, but you'll see Kang is going to get his abilities off, and hopefully he gets somewhere in the corners, so that way only one of your allies is taken down. That's okay when we have one of our guys fall, because we have Forge's ultimate, which can revive our fallen ally, so it's not really a big deal. Especially if it's Sunspot, it's going to help the team actually with him falling and providing the buffs for our team. So not a big issue, guys. You'll likely get a chance then now to use Gambit's ultimate. Huge amount of damage, as well as being able to provide buffs for our team, so a little bit of survivability. Nightcrawler just doing his dance across the enemies, and this node should be a lot more smooth than the first node. It's just making sure Kang goes down ASAP in the very beginning here. And thankfully, yeah, like I said, the revive helps immensely. Sunspot comes back. Once you're left with some of that right side cluster there, we can build up energy in preparation for the boss node, right? And that's kind of how I want to be treating it going forward. Even though I can't do the boss node yet, we want to be handling these nodes as if we are going to be attacking the boss node, and you know, obviously synergizing with the rest of our allies are also laning with us. So as you can see, 5 out of 11 remaining, not too bad. Red Hulk's almost down. Unfortunately, Rogue was able to get her abilities up, but that's okay. We were able to take down the bulk of the key damage dealers on this initial wave here, and now we're just controlling, right? The Archangel Nemesis combination could be dangerous, so if you have, you know, characters like Gambit to utilize the ability block to control them, it would be preferred, so that way they can stop their abilities from being utilized on us. And this would be an opportune time then to finally start building up charges for Cyclops here, because you want him as maximal as possible with his charges, so that way he's ready to go against the boss node. So at this point, it's about managing both these characters, right? And thankfully, even though Sunspot and Nightcrawler, you know, just got their turns off, we were able to use Nightcrawler's basic to actually get their ability block on Archangel. So you can really well manage these legendary horseman characters against us quite decently and build up energy here. Even with Sunspot likely going to be falling, we can likely bring him back as well with the revive. So it's just looking really, really good for us. He seems to always be the target for attention here, so maybe the AI has a certain target on him, or maybe just because he's the weakest on my team. But yeah, looking really good. Archangel goes down. We bring Sunspot back, and we just make sure that most of our cooldowns are ready to go for the boss node. But it's pretty easy. This node was much better than node 1. I think node 1's the one where you just need to focus on the time and getting the right attack order, just because of the multitude of enemies, and having that Dormammu Quicksilver combination against us could definitely be difficult to manage if you're not careful and looking at the abilities that have the enemies turns are coming up, right? So we're looking pretty good here, controlling Nemesis. And again, we're just not trying to do as much as we can. It's okay if they're a little bit dented up, because we can heal them with some refreshes, but again, we don't want to be using any abilities because we want to be saving the energy for the boss node, right? So there you guys have it. 830k for both these nodes, and it's great to see that they can actually get the job done, which is pretty big in terms of value, and slowly working them to that gear tier 16 level. But that's likely where I'm going to be ending up. I'll give you guys an update. Thank you as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.